stop everything for a moment and turn your focus inward. Don't listen with your ears, but with your spirit. What I'm about to share is not something meant for the crowd, but a personal message just for you. It's a quiet word meant for your heart alone, a message that cuts through the noise of daily life, landing softly on your soul like the first dew at dawn. This moment, this message, is not a coincidence. You've arrived at this place, at this exact word, by divine guidance. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt like missteps, the paths you thought were detours, have been part of the plan I've been weaving for you with care and purpose. Pay attention, for what I am about to reveal is meant for you alone. As you continue your journey with faith, believing your actions go unnoticed, I want to show you something I see. There are hidden discussions, people who think of you without speaking your name, yet you are the focus of their thoughts. You haven't been invited to their conversations, but they talk about you. They see you growing, rising, refusing to give up, and that threatens the way they've built their lives on falsehoods and selfish motives. They can't stand to see the light within you, so they try to dim it. Their hearts are full of jealousy, hidden judgment, and disguised intentions. Though you don't see this clearly, because you're not focused on them, I want to tell you that while you trusted, some were scheming against you. While you worked for peace, they spread rumors. While you quietly called out to me, others asked, "How can we bring them down?" But don't worry. Every tear you've shed, every fast you've endured, every sleepless night you've spent in prayer, had been collected and counted in my presence. My beloved, do not be afraid. I am not showing you this to make you afraid, but to open your eyes. I want you to understand that the enemy of your soul is always at work, but I, your God, never rest. I have been protecting you even when you didn't know you were in danger. I have been defending you when you didn't realize you were under attack. I have been covering you when others tried to expose you. That is why today I come to you with clear, direct words. No more parables, no more hidden meanings. I am here, ready to speak plainly and answer you. I've waited for this moment, not because I didn't want to answer earlier, but because there was a process inside you that needed to unfold. You had battles to face that would build your faith, shape your character, and sharpen your judgment. Even though there were times you cried out and didn't hear my response, I was working quietly behind the scenes, setting everything up, arranging each detail, aligning people and circumstances. Nothing hath been out of my control, not your tears, your losses, or your delays. Everything was part of my perfect plan, and now that plan is coming to pass. You have been faithful, not flawless but sincere. You kept moving forward even when you didn't understand. You believed even when doubts overwhelmed you. You stayed when many walked away. And now, I come to you as a father who rewards, as a king who honors loyalty, as a friend who values commitment. Listen with your whole heart. I am here, and I have decided to step in on your behalf. Don't think it's too late. Don't look back with regret. Everything you thought was lost will be restored in ways you can't even imagine. Not because you've earned it through your actions, but because my love is faithful, and my promise to you has never changed. I am the one who makes a way where there seems to be none, the one who makes rivers flow in the desert, the one who speaks of things that aren't yet seen as though they already are. I am your God, the one who formed you, chose you, and calls you by name. So lift your head, dry your tears, and renew your hope. You are not alone, You are not forgotten, and you are never beyond my reach. Today, I speak with the full authority of heaven. I am ready to answer you. And when I answer, no one and nothing can stand in the way of what I have planned. Open your heart even more, for what you hear now is my Spirit speaking directly to you, not just with words, but with the power of my presence. Let me go deeper into your heart, to those hidden places, the ones you don't often look at. For it is in that secret place that I have shaped you, in the quiet depths where I have held you up, and within your soul, I have placed a spark of my fire. This fire is not extinguished by the storms or the indifference of the world around you. It is eternal because it comes from me, the eternal God, and you, my precious child. This is your moment to rise, not just a hopeful thought or a wishful promise, but a divine truth, a declaration that comes from my throne. This is the time I have set for you to rise, not through your own strength, but by my plan. Do not fear the height, for I am the one who supports you. I will lift you higher than those who doubt you, higher than the situations that tried to hold you back, and even above your own deepest doubts. And for every soul who has truly sought me, every heart that has reached out in trust, know this: I see you not as a distant judge, but as a loving Father. Though I may not always answer your requests with clear words or signs, understand this: every time you knelt in the quiet, I was there. Every time you gave thanks when things seemed scarce, my Spirit moved within you. When you thought your cries were lost in the silence, I was recording every word with everlasting love. I know you completely. You are not a random occurrence, nor the result of mere chance. You are the fruit of a divine plan, the fulfillment of a timeless thought. Your journey is secure because I am the one who laid it out for you. And even when it seemed like you were walking alone, you were never truly alone. Even in the times when it felt like everyone else was pulling away, I stayed close. In the quiet seasons, when no one else seemed to hear, I spoke to you deep within. And in every tear that fell unnoticed, I gathered it and turned it into strength. Keep your heart open to this message, my dear, for what you are receiving is not just a simple answer to a prayer, but a profound declaration, a sacred shift. Heaven is moving on your behalf, and what was once hidden will now be revealed. This season is yours. It is not a shared time, not a common moment, but it is your time, specially chosen for you. I am speaking to you now, opening the heavens to reach directly into your spirit. I ask you, are you truly receiving this message? I want you to affirm this within yourself, not out of fear, but with absolute certainty. From the very first breath you took, I was with you. From the quiet room where you were born, to the times when you felt misunderstood and alone, I was right there. I didn't watch from a distance, like a stranger. I watched as a creator, a craftsman, who carefully designed every detail of your life. I rained your path, bringing certain people into your life, allowing certain separations, and even delays, all for a reason. Everything has been done with the goal of grounding you in truth, making you firm in my word, and helping you become unshakable. Your identity is not written on fragile paper or in ink that time can erase. There are those who will try to make you feel alone, abandoned, like you don't matter, like your voice has no value, and like you can be ignored without consequence. But I speak to you with love and authority, and I say that these voices are lies. Know this truth. The reason they try to push you aside is because your light bothers them. There is light within you, not from your body or your ego, but from my spirit. And that light reveals the truth. You don't need to accuse them or defend yourself. You don't have to face them head-on to expose their lies. Simply by being who you are, by living with integrity, by persevering, by keeping your faith alive, you expose them. Your presence alone shows them for who they are, their falsehoods, their weak arguments, and their lack of purpose. And yet, I tell you, don't let your heart be filled with bitterness. Don't respond to hate with hate, or to disrespect with pride. Keep your heart calm, because I am your justice and I am your defender. In this time, I won't just protect you, I will raise you up. I will lift you as a sign, as a living proof that I am God, and that those who stay faithful will be honored. My word does not fail. I do not forget the cries of the righteous. Your story is written in my book, and it's not over yet. This is just the beginning. Stay close to me and hold on to this promise. The work I started in you, I will bring to completion. Right now, you may only see pieces, but soon you will see the whole picture and realize it was all worth it. I, the Lord your God, am with you through it all. You have carried heavy burdens for a long time, burdens that were never meant to be yours. You've shouldered weight while others stood by and did nothing. You've stayed quiet while your soul cried out, and you've endured pressures that would have broken others. I've been with you at every moment, watching your silent strength, the kind that comes from deep within, not for praise or recognition, but because you carry something. Not everyone has a spirit that refuses to quit, even when others misunderstand you and judge you without knowing your heart. You've pressed on not out of duty, but because the flame inside you refuses to go out, even when the winds blow hard against it. That light inside you keeps burning, even when everything around you seems to be fading away. This is proof that what moves you comes from something beyond the visible world and cannot be sustained by the hands of others. It comes from the eternal, from what I placed in you from the very start. Nothing you've gone through has been wasted. The pain, the silence, the moments when you wondered if it was worth it, none of it has been in vain. All of it hath been part of a plan that goes beyond what you can understand right now. You are not a half-finished drawing or a story without a purpose. You are being shaped in the fires of the eternal. Every experience, every challenge, every person who crossed your path, and every time you were misunderstood was allowed as part of a bigger picture. What some call failure, I've used to strengthen your foundation. What others saw as defeat, I've turned into your redemption. Where many see only the surface, I see the depth. I've been working quietly, not because I am absent, but because I am working in the background to bring greater glory to your life. The most meaningful processes take time. The strongest foundations are never built quickly. What I am building in your life is not temporary or fragile. It is strong, lasting, and eternal. A new stage has come, where you will not only rise from within, but what has been hidden will begin to show itself on the outside. This will not be for the sake of vanity or to seek attention, but because the outward change will be the visible proof of what I have been working inside you. What once seemed unseen will now speak clearly. What many ignored before will no longer be denied, not because you are forcing it, but because the fruit of your work cannot be hidden. The roots have gone deep, and so the tree will stand firm. Your walk will quietly respond to those who doubted, not to prove your value, but so they can see that there is a difference between what the world accepts and what I approve. The light you carry will not be from human praise, but from my light. What you hold in your hands will not be a trophy, but a testimony. And the doors that open in front of you will not be because of plans or strategies, but because of my direct intervention in your life. There will be no need for you to explain what you have been through. You will not have to justify the pauses, the tears, or the times of silence. The fruit of your efforts will speak for itself. The proof will be clear. The work I have done in you will speak without words. What others tried to silence will be shouted from places you never imagined, not for your praise, but so that many will see that I am real, that I keep my promises, that I do not forget, and that when I begin something, I finish it. This new season is not empty. It is full of purpose, direction, and change. It is the answer to the quiet prayers you made, to the words you spoke when no one else was watching. It is the result of your quiet persistence, your hidden faith, and your strength without the need for attention. Those who mocked you while you waited will soon be silent, not as punishment, but because truth needs no defense when it is clear for all to see. Always remember this: I have not kept you safe to let you fall. I have not brought you this far only to leave you halfway. What you have experienced is not the end. It is just the preparation. The ground beneath your feet has been cleared, purified, and watered with your tears, and now it is ready to bear fruit. The heavens are aligning with the earth to make space for what you have been waiting for. You are not about to lose everything. You are about to gain understanding. What once seemed confusing will now make perfect sense. What drained you will now be the very thing that strengthens you. Don't let the voices of the past get in the way of what I am doing in this moment. Don't bring old ideas into this new season. Don't let nostalgia make you doubt where I am leading you, because this time is different. This moment is not a repeat of the past. It is completely new. And you are here, not by coincidence, but by design. I am the one who has opened this path for you, and no plan made against you will succeed. My words remain unshaken, and every promise I have made will come true. Not because of your own strength, but because I am with you, guiding every step, and my word will never fail. What is unfolding in your life now is not just an extension of the past, but the beginning of something entirely new, something that has been carefully planned long before you even realized what you needed. There are movements happening on your behalf that are not based on what you've done, what others think of you, or the circumstances you can see. The change that is coming is the result of decisions made in my eternal wisdom. You were considered, you were chosen, and you are being shown what others will not see, invited to go where others cannot go, and led down paths that only my hand can open. Much has been taken away from your life, not by accident, nor by abandonment, but for your protection. Not everything you wanted to hold on to was meant for you to keep. There were people, habits, and even thoughts that were so deeply rooted in your life that when I started to remove them, it felt like loss. But in reality, it was preparation. I am not acting out of a desire to punish you, but out of a deep desire to protect what truly matters in your life. Many times, protecting your future means cutting ties with things that weaken your true purpose, even though you didn't understand it at the time. Now, in this new space that has been cleared with patience and determination, I am building something that will last. I am planting truths that replace old voices. I am rewriting definitions that the world twisted. I am renewing what once was limited by fear, what you thought was the best you could achieve. Now, something new is starting to emerge, far beyond what you once believed possible. It's not just a better version of the past, but something entirely new. The ground has been carefully prepared, and now I am getting ready to plant what will endure forever. You don't need to try to control what's coming. You're not meant to create your own opportunities or force outcomes. Your focus should be on staying aligned with what you know is true deep in your heart. There will be decisions that won't rely on your logic, but on your ability to hear the quiet guidance within, the peace that confirms, the certainty that comes not from reasoning, but from my presence. What is unfolding inside you is being guided by a higher direction. Don't try to predict or delay what is coming, just stay in tune. The rhythm you follow now is not the world's, but mine. I am covering your life with a shield that isn't easy to see. It's a grace that works in silence, but holds every part of your life firmly. What once seemed fragile will become strong. What you thought was about to break will be made whole. The foundation I am building will not be shaken by the wind because its strength comes from the unseen, where I reside. No one will undo what I've established. No one can reverse the work I'm doing in your life. What others rejected is being restored in my hands with a beauty that only I can create. You've reached a point where you no longer need to defend yourself or explain your journey. The need to justify is behind you. What matters to me now is that you walk with dignity, with freedom inside, free from the weight of other people's opinions. You don't need approval to move forward. You don't need validation to believe. What I'm creating in you doesn't need witnesses to prove it's real. Your path no longer depends on who praises you or who criticizes you. You are being supported by something deeper, more secure, and eternal. It is time for your confidence to be rooted in what does not change. You can no longer rely on shifting emotions or human opinions. You have been called to build on a firm foundation, and that means letting go of the need to understand everything before you obey. This phase will be defined by quiet but firm actions, by movements that may not be understood by everyone, but will produce results that no one can deny. Your peace will not come from the approval of others, but from the deep certainty that you are aligned with what you know is true, even if it's not yet fully clear to you. Do not worry about the distance others may place between you and them. What seems like separation is often realignment. I am repositioning everything around you, and part of that process is removing what holds you back, what distracts, and what diverts your focus. Not because you are above those things, but because your purpose requires a clear path. It's not that you don't appreciate what has passed, but you've been prepared for what is ahead, and what is ahead requires lightness. You cannot move forward while carrying what cannot survive in the atmosphere I am creating. I am bringing together pieces of your story you never expected. I am providing solutions from places you never imagined. Even those who once stood against you are now being used as instruments for your good. I am stirring things up in places where your name is being spoken, not to harm you, but to unlock doors that I have already set before you. And when this happens, you will understand that you were never stuck. I was simply waiting for the right time to make everything fall into place according to my plan. This is a delicate, yet wonderful season. It is a time of depth, growth, and inner transformation. It's not about doing more. It's about being in the right place with the right heart. I am healing old wounds that kept you in cycles. I am restoring parts of your identity that were broken by past experiences. I am making all things new, and you are an active part of this process, not as a bystander, but as a living expression of my purpose. What has started can no longer be stopped. The work is already in motion, and every step you take under my guidance is moving you further from confusion and closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. This is not just a change of season. It is a fresh start in every way. The story is being rewritten, and you are at the very center of this new chapter that I am creating. The atmosphere around you is shifting in small but steady ways. What once seemed far off or impossible is now approaching with determination. Nothing happening right now is by chance. Every detail is being carefully guided by a higher wisdom that does not make mistakes. I have been setting up everything needed for a deep and lasting transformation. This is not a temporary or shallow change, but a total realignment of your surroundings, your thoughts, your choices, and your direction. The doors that remained closed were not a sign of rejection, but a wise pause. I wasn't trying to limit you, but to protect you from unnecessary struggles. Many of the paths that seemed inviting would not have led to your true purpose. At times, you felt frustrated that you couldn't move forward on certain paths, but what you didn't realize was that those paths were built on unstable ground. I prevented you from wasting energy on roads that would not stand the test of time. Even though you didn't understand it back then, you were being protected. Now, a new and untouched land opens before you. It's not a repeat of the past or a rearrangement of what you already knew. It's a completely fresh scenario, filled with possibilities you never thought were possible because they were beyond the scope of your experience. You've been prepared to walk through this new phase. You won't recognize it by external signs, but by the way it will feel deep inside. Ideas will begin to form naturally, without force. People will enter your life without any obvious reason. There will be meetings that seem random, but in truth, they have been planned with precision from the very beginning. This new place requires a different mindset from you. You cannot approach it with a mentality of lack or limitation. The new cannot be sustained by the old. You must let go of the stories that have defined you for years, many of which didn't even come from your own heart, but were placed upon you by harsh words, toxic surroundings, and painful experiences. I am carefully removing those roots one by one, not because they belonged to you, but because they took root without your permission. What I did not plant will not stay, and everything that was placed in you without my approval is now being removed. Take a moment to stop all distractions and focus on what's inside of you. Do not listen with your ears, but with your spirit. What I'm about to share with you is not for the public. It is a personal message, gently woven just for you. It is a quiet whisper that cuts through the noise of daily life, resting softly on your soul like the first dew at dawn. This message you are receiving is no accident. Your arrival at this moment, to hear these words, is part of a plan I have been working on. I have been guiding every step, even the moments that felt like setbacks, even the detours you thought were mistakes. Every part of your journey hath been carefully designed with love and purpose by me. Listen carefully. As you continue in faith, believing that your actions go unseen, I must share something with you that only I can see clearly. There are conversations happening in secret, people who do not mention your name, but keep you at the center of their thoughts. You haven't been invited to those conversations, yet you are their focus. They have seen your progress, that you rise, that you do not quit. This bothers them, because your growth challenges the foundations they have built without truth, without my guidance. They cannot stand to see the light I have placed in you, so they try to put it out. Their hearts are filled with jealousy, hidden criticism, and words that appear innocent but carry hidden opposition. I know you don't see it clearly because you are not focused on them. You have not held bitterness in your heart, nor have you cultivated distrust. You have stayed true to simplicity, always hoping for the best from others, believing that if you do what is right, you will receive what is right in return. But I, who see all things, tell you today that while you trusted, some were quietly creating confusion to trap you. While you worked to bring peace, others were spreading lies. While you called out to me in the quiet, others were scheming to stop you. And though you may not realize it, your tears have been gathered, your fasts have been noted, and your sleepless nights have been counted as offerings in my presence. My dear, do not be afraid. I am not showing you this to cause fear, but to help you see clearly. I want you to know that the enemy of your soul does not rest, but I, your God, also never sleep. I have protected you when you didn't even know you were in danger. I have stood by you when you were under attack, and I have covered you when others tried to expose you. That's why today I stand before you with clear, direct words without any parables. With love and certainty, I say to you, I am finally ready to answer you. There is a spiritual movement taking place right now, and it is not something temporary or something you can simply overlook without consequences. From the heights of heaven, where God's glory never fades, a divine action hath been set in motion, and you are at the center of it all. It is not by chance that you are hearing these words at this very moment. You did not arrive here by mistake or out of mere curiosity. You were led here. The Spirit of God has made sure that these words reach you because something is about to happen. This is not about feeling or human influence, but a direct message coming down from the eternal throne. A heavenly visitor is on their way, a messenger with clear instructions. He does not bring vague words or a general message. He comes with orders sealed by the authority of the Most High. He comes because God has heard your prayers, seen your tears, and recorded your struggles in heaven. Even if you haven't understood every part of your pain, heaven has been watching over every step you've taken. And now, the time for divine intervention has come. My voice, says the Lord, has gone before you. I have commanded one of my heavenly servants to approach your home. He does not move because of emotions, needs, or chance. He moves by command, coming as a response because something in your life has been held back for too long, and today, the order has been given to release it. I am not speaking to you about something symbolic or imaginary. I am talking about a spiritual reality that will show up in the physical world. You will notice and change. You will feel the atmosphere around you shift. It will not be just another ordinary day. Do not let anything distract you. Do not be distracted by outside noise or by your inner voices. Do not let the world's distractions or your weariness fool you. I speak to you urgently today because there is a window of opportunity, a door placed before you. But you must stay alert because this type of visit does not come without purpose. This is not something small. This is not something to brush aside. It is a divine appointment, heaven touching earth right at your doorstep. Stay until the end of this message because every word I speak now is like a nail being firmly driven in. This is not about human emotions. It is about my Spirit moving with power. If you listen closely, if you keep your heart open, you will receive guidance that will change the path of your life. What seems stuck will start to move. What seemed dead will begin to live. What was closed will start to open. I am the one who opens doors that no one can close, and I close doors that no one can open. I am the one who speaks and brings it to pass. I am the one who sees what's done in secret and rewards it openly. So, I say to you now, prepare not only to listen, but to receive. This word is not just for your encouragement. It is meant to wake you up, to push you to a new level, to get you ready, because the visit you are about to receive will not be ordinary. It will not be of flesh and blood. It will be spiritual, powerful, and come with signs. Do not close your heart. Do not cover your ears, and do not say, "This isn't for me," because if you are hearing this, it's because I have already chosen you. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your calling, and what is coming to your home will change the atmosphere, break chains, bring hidden things to light, and restore what seemed lost. I do not lie, says the Lord. I do not speak without purpose. My word does not return void, and today I am sending it to you with an eternal purpose. Listen carefully, because I, the Lord your God, am speaking to you not with empty symbols or human promises, but with a voice that echoes for eternity, with purifying fire and a love without limits. I have seen your journey. I have counted every step, and I have heard every prayer, even the ones you spoke in silence when words couldn't come out, but your soul cried out. Nothing has been unnoticed before my eyes. Every tear was collected, every thought was weighed, every pain recorded. I am not distant or deaf. I am the God who draws near, the God who fights for his own, the God who moves on behalf of those who honor him and trust in his name. And that is why today I announce to you something that heaven has already decided. A messenger hath been sent. Not just any angel, not an ordinary visitor. An archangel has been dispatched to your home with a specific mission, and he does not come as a guest, but as a warrior. He hath been given heavenly authority to surround your home. He doth not come with gentle words or formal gestures. He comes with a sword of light, a shield of justice, and clear orders from heaven. He has come to protect, to break, and to purify. Heaven knows your worries, your private thoughts, those struggles you face in silence, unseen by others. That is why the command was given. Because you are not alone, you are not without protection, and you are not left to wander. This archangel comes to cut off all harmful influences, to undo words spoken out of jealousy, to close the doors opened by spiritual attacks, and to strengthen the atmosphere where you live, where you walk. I establish my presence. Where you lift your hands in prayer, I extend my power. And now I declare, the place where you live will be surrounded. Your home will be marked by my light. Not as a warning, but as a sign of belonging. Do not let the routines of life cloud your judgment. I know you felt worn out, burdened by pains you can't explain, by illnesses that seem to never stop. With responsibilities piling up, you searched for answers, many times without finding rest. But right now, I tell you, something has already shifted, not because you feel it immediately, but because the command has already been given. The very fact that this message is reaching you now is proof that heaven is moving toward you. It is a sign that the eternal doors have been opened to intervene on your behalf. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Your story is not hidden from me. There is a purpose far beyond what your eyes see and what your emotions can handle. There is a plan written before your birth, and what you are going through is not the end, but the soil where I am preparing the fulfillment of that plan. The heavenly messenger coming to your home does not just come to protect, but to give you a key, a spiritual key, a supernatural opening, a door that only I can open and that no one will be able to shut. This key represents freedoms you didn't even realize you needed. There are chains imposed by past generations, spiritual patterns that hold you back, and burdens that were never meant for you. But this key has come to set you free from all of it. It is here to remove the heavy weight that has burdened your soul. It will break the endless cycles that have held you back. It will silence the lions that have risen up against you. Many have tried to discourage you. They told you that your faith was naive, that your prayers were wasted time, and that your dreams were defeated. But today, I tell you that no word spoken against you will stand. No accusation made against you will succeed. I am your defender. I am your protector. I am your God. The messenger I have sent is not intimidated by doubt, nor does he shrink back in the face of darkness. He moves with power because I am the one who sent him. My word does not need approval from anyone to come to pass. When I speak, it is done. When I give a command, it is established. Prepare yourself, because where there was discouragement, you will find renewed strength. Where there was sickness, healing will begin to show. Where you felt abandoned, you will feel my loving embrace. This is not a temporary comfort or fleeting emotion. This is a new season declared over your life, and it will not be like before. You will be better, deeper, and eternal. I have come close to see what others could not see. I have drawn near to your home in silence, even when everything seemed calm on the outside, but inside, the walls whispered of exhaustion, internal battles, and thoughts that no one else knew. A burden had been weighing heavily on you day after day. Nothing is hidden from my eyes. I have seen the moments when you felt surrounded by forces you couldn't understand, when it seemed like an invisible pressure was ruling over everything, making life harder than it needed to be. Even when you stepped out in faith, you faced unexpected obstacles, as if something rose up to stop everything you tried to build. It wasn't just a coincidence. It was spiritual warfare, and that is why I sent help. I didn't allow these struggles to continue aimlessly. Every battle had its reason, but I have set a limit. Darkness will not have control over what I have blessed. What was sown in tears will be reaped in peace. I have spoken enough to what has drained your strength, and my intervention will not come with noise but with authority, while others think nothing is changing. I am commanding the heavenly forces to protect what belongs to you. I have sent my presence to fill the atmosphere of your home, so that there will be no room for confusion. Every spirit of opposition that has settled there will be forced to retreat, with no choice but to leave. The visitor who is coming does not come to simply repeat what you already know, but to bring to life what has not yet started. This is not only a sign of protection, it is a sign of new beginnings. There are things you have been waiting for, movements you have longed to see, changes you have prayed for. Now, that process begins, not because someone has interceded on your behalf, but because I have chosen to act directly. I will no longer wait for humanity to be ready. I will no longer depend on the actions of others. This time I am touching what no one else could touch. Everything in your environment that has been tainted will begin to shake. People who have been instruments of discouragement will start to move away. Spiritual influences that have drained your energy will be severed. Relationships without purpose will begin to fade, not by your own strength, but by my hand. It is time for cleansing, for order, and for restoration. I will not only restore what is visible, but also what is hidden, what you carry inside, what you've kept silent, and what you thought had no solution. There is nothing too broken for me to heal. What you have experienced so far does not define what I will do next. The wounds of your past will not decide the end of your story. The mistakes you made are not the limits of my power. Many believed you would never rise again, that you would stay stuck, caught between unfulfilled dreams and dull days. But I am not like humans. I do not see your current situation as the end, but as a preparation for what's to come. Everything that has built up inside of you will be addressed. I will leave no part of it unresolved. I will not ignore the details. I go deep. I know your thoughts before you even speak them. That's why nothing you're feeling is unfamiliar to me. I have felt it with you, I have carried it with you, and now I will transform it with you. The messenger I sent will not come empty-handed. He comes with heavenly tools to heal, to activate, and to deliver. He will not leave until his mission is complete. He comes to open doors that have been shut for years. He comes to bring back promises buried by doubt, fatigue, and time. He comes to give you back what you thought was lost. And when you see it come to pass, you will know you were not forgotten, not overlooked, but set aside for this moment. You will rise with fresh strength. It will not be like before. It will not be based on emotions, but on something deeper, something spiritual. It will be stable and constant. You will no longer walk with uncertain steps, but you will stand firm with clarity. Your voice will be different. Your decisions will be filled with wisdom and understanding. What once caused confusion will now bring light. What once brought fear will turn into authority. What once was waiting will now be fulfillment. This new season is not a distant dream, it is a reality that is starting to unfold. While not everyone will understand it, you will live it, because it has been specifically designed for you. I have been working in the places that the natural eye cannot see. Where it seemed nothing was happening, that is where I was working the hardest. It was not in what is visible or obvious, but in the hidden places, in the roots, in the foundations that needed to be strengthened in order to support what is about to come. I have been building internal strength in you, not just so you could endure a little longer, but to prepare you to handle what would have broken you before. I allowed certain doors to open when you prayed for them, not because I was withholding answers, but because what needed to be in you had not yet been placed, so you could walk through them without being harmed. There were times when you questioned why the process took so long, why doors seemed to close just when they were about to open. You wondered why others were moving ahead, while you felt like you were just resisting. You asked why, if I was with you, I didn't stop some of your struggles. And now I tell you, every delay was for your protection. Every silence was a part of my plan. Every long night was a time where I planted something eternal. Nothing you went through was in vain. I didn't allow despair to destroy you because I was building a strength in you that would no longer rely on outside circumstances to remain firm. While others saw you as stuck, I saw you in the process of being shaped. When you thought you were stagnant, I was planting conviction inside you. In your moments of weariness, I gave you discernment. In your confusion, I gave you identity. I didn't want you to step into this new season with the same old mindset. I didn't want you to move forward with just hopes and dreams. I wanted you to move with understanding, with clarity, with direction. And now is the time. Not everything I have prepared will show up right away. Some things will come quietly, like a change in the air that you don't notice at first. Soon, you will realize your thoughts are different, that what used to trouble you no longer holds you down, and that what once had power over you has lost its strength. It will be like a new space opening inside of you, where the voice of fear can no longer enter, where anxiety no longer belongs. I have been cleansing your heart, not just for a temporary sense of peace, but so you can live free from everything that has held you back deep within. Many of the voices that have shaped your view of the world will be silenced. You will not do this alone. I will do it for you. Because in the coming days, there are decisions you will make that will change everything. And I don't want you to make them out of insecurity, out of a need for approval, or from an emotional rush. I want you to make them from the peace that only I can give you, the peace that held others up when everything seemed to be falling apart. That peace is now settling in you, not as just a comforting thought, but as a real, steady, and strong force. Many mocked you when you dared to move forward. They said you weren't ready, that you didn't have what it takes, that others were more qualified. But I didn't choose you based on what others saw. I chose you based on purpose. The value I have placed in you is not measured by titles, human approval, or visible accomplishments. It is measured by your obedience, your perseverance, and your faithfulness when no one else is watching. And in those things, you have been found not perfect, but available, not without faults, but willing. And that has touched my heart. That is what I am honoring now. There are new connections waiting for you, people who don't know you yet but have been assigned to walk alongside you. People whose hearts are aligned with mine, people who will not drain you, but will help push you forward. And I will also remove those who cannot continue with you. It won't be because of rejection, but because of protection. Not everyone is meant to be with you in every season. Not everyone can handle what I am about to give you. And this should not hurt you. It should set you free. I am now establishing a season of focus, not rush but depth. What you are about to see will not be just the result of your efforts, but a mix of your obedience and my divine support. The signs will not be small, they will be clear, and you won't need to explain them. They will be visible to all, even though not everyone will understand them. What I do, I sustain. What I start, I finish. And in you, I have begun something that will not be left unfinished. Nothing I have promised you will remain incomplete. I have said I will do it, and I will. I have said I will come, and I am coming. I am working in places where no one else can step in. I am working in ways that go beyond what your natural senses can grasp. Everything around you that seems still is actually going through a deep change. What once appeared immovable is now starting to crack from the inside out. This will not be a surface-level change, but a foundational one. I am not just changing the outside. I am rebuilding the very base, because what is coming cannot stand on a weak foundation. I will not let the new be built on the old without first tearing down what cannot remain. I have begun to remove layers that time and life have placed on your heart. Some were formed by disappointments, others by unfulfilled hopes, and some by betrayals that left their mark. But none of that will stay the same. Where there have been wounds, I will pour healing oil. Where there was abandonment, I will bring my presence. Where there was silence, I will provide direction. I don't want you to continue moving forward from your wounds, but from a place of healing. And that is why I have decided to intervene with strength, precision, and a love that never retreats. There are areas inside of you that you have learned to ignore. You thought it would be easier to just keep going without facing them. There are parts of you that you preferred to keep in the dark, thinking it was better not to touch them. But I will not leave hidden spaces in the hearts of those I love. Everything will be brought to light, not to expose you, but to free you. Because where there is clarity, there is strength, and where there is truth, there is transformation. Do not be afraid. If certain emotions come to the surface in the days ahead, it will be part of what I am doing. It will not confuse you, but bring order to you. It will not disturb you, but heal you. Let what needs to be dealt with come out, because you will not heal by hiding, but by surrendering. My work in you is not partial or surface level. It is complete and thorough. It goes deep, touching even the most hidden parts, and places everything exactly where it should be. I am also preparing the outside world for you. I have started to align situations in your favor. I will arrange things that once felt beyond your control. What seemed too complex will begin to resolve on its own, without you having to push for it. You will begin to notice how everything is falling into place, how answers come effortlessly, how timing starts to align, and it won't be by chance or coincidence. It will be the direct result of what I am working in the spiritual realm. Even what seemed lost or completely finished has not escaped my grasp. There are things you are about to reclaim, not because they will return exactly as they were, but because I will restore them to the way they were always meant to be. Some relationships will be renewed with a deeper understanding, and others will simply fade away, without pain, without bitterness, and without the need for any explanation. What cannot continue with you will be removed gently, and what is meant for you will be added without struggle. I will awaken resources that have been dormant within you. There are gifts, talents, and abilities within you that have been asleep for so long that you might have thought they weren't yours. But I placed them there, and now they are awakening. Ideas, dreams, creativity, strategies. All of this will begin to flow again, but this time with clear direction. There will be no more wandering without purpose, no more starts without finishes. You will now walk with firm intention. Everything you touch will bear fruit, not because you have control over everything, but because you have been placed exactly where my grace flows freely. And when you see the doors starting to open, do not hesitate to walk through them. When you feel the urge to move forward, do not doubt where it's coming from. I have removed the confusion that once made you hesitate. I am sharpening your ability to discern, clearing your vision. What once seemed unclear will now be obvious. I will give you clarity where there was once uncertainty, and I will show you how to move with confidence, even in unfamiliar situations. This isn't just a new season, it is a renewed version of who you are. You are being prepared to handle blessings that would have overwhelmed you before. Now you have the foundation, now you have the discernment, now you have the support, and with all of that, nothing will stop the progress that has already started. I am unfolding a work in your life that is not controlled by human time or the expectations of the world around you. I am carrying out an eternal plan, one that cannot be interrupted by emotional exhaustion, by the words others have spoken about you, or by the mistakes of your past. What I am creating in you is not based on what others see, but on what I decided before your first breath on earth. It doesn't matter how many times you were overlooked or rejected. I did not look at you through the lens of judgment, but through the lens of my purpose. That's why I continue to work without stopping until everything I have planned is fulfilled. In this season, I am removing the comparison that has been stealing your confidence. You've seen the achievements of others and thought your journey was stuck, but you haven't understood that every life follows its own divine rhythm. Every process has its own purpose. I am not making you wait to punish you, but to prepare you. What I have set before you requires more than just a wish. It needs maturity, depth, and clear vision. And that's what I have been building in you, step by step, carefully, without missing a detail. What you have longed for seemed delayed, not because you didn't deserve it, but because it wasn't the right time. Now, the time is drawing near, but I will not announce it with a loud noise. You will see it in the everyday moments, conversations that shift the course of your life, small decisions that open huge doors, simple moments that hold eternity within them. In those moments, I will be there, working quietly, aligning everything around you to bring you to where you've always been meant to be. I am also removing the fears that disguise themselves as reason, those doubts you called caution, but were really rooted in fear, holding you back from moving forward. You weren't made to live in fear, but to walk with certainty, with a strength born of conviction, not quick decisions. That's why I am dismantling, one by one, the reasons in your mind that have been keeping you stuck. I am awakening the truth within you, a truth that speaks loud and clear. I have been watching how you've carried the expectations of others, how you tried to fit into molds that were never meant for you. You don't need to make everyone happy. You only need to walk in what I've entrusted to you. You haven't been called to meet human standards. You've been called to reflect what I have placed inside you. It is that authenticity that will open paths that once seemed closed. Grace flows when you walk in the way I have designed for you, not when you try to fit into systems that were never meant for your soul. I am also stirring a new sensitivity in you. You will start to notice more clearly my signs, my warnings, and my guidance. You will know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to wait. Not because you will grow wise on your own, but because you will be walking in a deeper connection with me. In that closeness, everything that once seemed unclear will become clear, and what seemed impossible will start to feel natural, because you will not rely on your own strength, but on my guidance. There is a spiritual movement happening right now, and it is not something brief or something you can ignore without consequences. From the heights of heaven, where God's glory never fades, a divine plan has been set in motion, and you are at the heart of it. It is no accident that you are hearing these words right now. You did not end up here by mistake or out of curiosity. You were guided. The Spirit of God has made sure these words reach you because something is about to unfold. This is not just emotion or human inspiration. This is a direct revelation coming from the eternal throne. A celestial messenger is on his way, sent with clear instructions. He does not come with empty words or a vague message. He arrives with orders sealed by the authority of the Most High. He comes because God has heard your prayers, seen your tears, and recorded your struggles in heaven. Even though you may not have understood every part of your pain, heaven has been closely watching every step of your journey. And now, the time for divine intervention has arrived. My voice, says the Lord, has gone ahead of you. I have commanded one of my heavenly servants to approach your home. He does not move based on emotions, needs, or chance. He moves by command, arriving as a response to a situation in your life that has been held back for too long. And today, the order has been given to release it. I am not speaking symbolically or figuratively, but about a real spiritual change that will show itself in the physical world. You will notice something shifting. You will feel that the atmosphere in your home is being stirred,